This video is sponsored by Truco Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman will news report today, June 6, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we had some serious spikes in Earth's electromagnetic field. This happened just after 1400 UTC time. It's going to be from 7:15 a.m. to around 8 a.m. here centrally in the U.S. These are serious spikes and they went off the chart, ending at 1600 hertz here. So very powerful spikes on our electromagnetic field. And what do we usually see when we see this? We see our Schumann resonance going crazy. Let's take a look together. All right, jumping over to take a look at the Schumann resonance. It looked like we had really hard spiking for about 45 minutes, and that slowly dwindled off. These spikes went off the chart. You can see the geophones getting hit hard up here. This is our Schumann resonance and went over 105 hertz. There's no way to really tell how high it went here. These charts were made before the Schumann resonance ever went over 37 hertz in 2017. Why is that occurring? Well, I'll try to explain this to you as we go. Taking a look at our 6-day comparison of Schumann resonance events. Yesterday was very quiet, and most of today was quiet until just after 1400 UTC time, which is 7 a.m. Central here in the U.S. Now, we had heavy spike in there for about 45 minutes, and that slowly dwindled off, and right now we're seeing no activity for about the last 3.5 hours. Headed over to our amplitudes, these spikes were definitely picked up by our ULF noise indicators, by our ELF noise indicators, and our second SR frequency took a dip and indicated a problem also at that time. What didn't really react again is our geophones, and that's because I believe that they're completely covered in snow in the area that this modeling station is located. I will show you some pictures of the snow around it and try to prove my point there. But why is the Schumann resonance spiking higher and higher every year? Well, I'm going to try to explain that as well. Over to windy.com, we know that our modeling agency is right about here where my cursor is. And if we look at some of the stations around that, we see how much snow has fallen in these areas. Easy to see. Being our modeling station is at the foothills, if you will, of our Alps. And this is going to be the Swiss Alps, the French Alps, the German Alps, the Austrian Alps. There's just one set of mountains right here. That the probability of the geophones being covered in snow is high, to say the least. Now, what is the agitator that caused the Schumann resonance to spike so heavily? Well, it's obviously this thunderstorm that just passed over, i.e. lightning is our agitator. We're in a period of, well, null, but we do have possible thunderstorm inbound. So we could see more spiking in about an hour's time. I'm going to zoom in and show y'all the actual modeling station here, so we all know exactly where it is. It's just outside of the city of Turin, Italy. And you can see it is in the foothills of the Alps here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what's causing the Schumann resonance to spike higher and higher each year? Well, let me try to explain that. So as I said, we had never seen the Schumann resonance spike over 37 hertz until 2017. What has occurred between now and 2017? Well, our magnetic poles here on Earth have started to move and flip. They're headed to meet somewhere north of Indonesia, it appears. With that, we're losing some of our atmosphere. I know y'all have heard of some of the atmosphere anomalies, i.e. holes in our atmosphere. And the agitator, in this instance lightning, is now bouncing off a much lower level of the atmosphere, the D layer, the lowest level, right above our troposphere and stratosphere, and returning and hitting the sensors much harder and with much more velocity. What happened to our F and E layers? Well, they still pop up when space weather is attacking the planet to try to guard the planet. But currently, we don't have any space weather, and this tells us that these agitators are bouncing off the D layer of our atmosphere, returning to the monitors very strong and causing these Schumann spikes. And they're going higher and higher each year because we're losing more and more atmosphere each year as our magnetic poles flip. I believe this is about a 3,600-year cycle. The governments are well aware of this by looking at rock layers in places like the Grand Canyon. I did find this in several PhD papers after I figured out why the Schumann resonance was spiking higher and higher each year. It's bouncing off lower and lower parts of the atmosphere as it depletes each year. Now I know we've had spikes over even 200 hertz to date. Now with that said, I know a lot of people think that this is some sort of ascension event into a higher dimension, and mathematically that would be true, but I don't see anyone or anything ascending to a higher plane around the world. Do you? All I see is war, famine, and negative things occurring just about everywhere around the entire globe. With that said, this is an increase in frequency and vibration, which in fact mathematically should bring us to a higher dimension and definitely would affect all living things. Our Schumann resonance resting level is 7.83 hertz. And since these are so strong, they affect animals and all living things in different ways. Personally, for me, I feel lethargic when we see very strong Schumann resonance spikes, and I know a lot of people feel just the opposite and energetic. Love to know if you're able to sense these spikes, and if so, how they affect you. Please leave that information in a comment below. Thank y'all for joining us. God bless each and every one of you guys. Please share our video, please subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in Bizarro World.